Aloha, I'm Reverend Cindy Palos, and I thought today I'd kind of go deeply into the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer done and translated by Jon Marc Hammer. I've used it at many times for closing my talks and meditations out. And I'm sure many of you are very aware that the traditional Lord's Prayer is very, very powerful. It's probably been said more than any other prayer through history. And at the same time, it was translated over and over and over again. And through the translations and through the different interpretations through time, it got changed from the original Aramaic version that was spoken by Jesus Christ. And we're very aware that this happened throughout many places in the Bible, of course, because as people translated it and they were following different forms of their religion, they imposed their interpretation on it. So I always like to go back to the original with total respect to what it's become, the traditional. Because when you speak a prayer over and over and over again, it creates a whole energy field. And it has the power of that spoken word. So no disrespect to the traditional Lord's Prayer. It's wonderful that it served its purpose. But it's nice to know that we can look to the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer to try to be in the state of mind and the presence that Jesus Christ was trying to convey when he was asked, how do you pray to God? And a few wonderful points come up as we go through this, which are that in the time when Jesus was alive and practicing as an Essene, they didn't, and he didn't have just the male image. It wasn't our Father who art in heaven. Instead, it was an energy field that included both the Father and the Mother. That one essence of the cosmos that is God wasn't confined in the Aramaic. So the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer starts out, Father, Mother of the cosmos. Now, if we were to take just that as an invocation, what a powerful invocation that is. And when I say the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer, I try to put myself in the energy field that Christ was in when he was speaking these words. So it's Father, Mother of the cosmos. And the next line incorporates the power of light. We know in the Bible and throughout time how powerful light is. Light is the first principle of life, right? Shimmering light of all is the next phrase after Father, Mother of the cosmos. Shimmering light of all. So we're calling and invoking the energy of Father, Mother of the cosmos, of God, as the shimmering light of all. Now we know God is the source of all light, and that light was brought forth to form creation. So again, by invoking that shimmering light of all, we're allowing ourselves to be aligned with enlightenment, with the light that is the highest light, that is that light from the ultimate source, which is the energy of creation with God. The next line is focus your light within us. So now that we have allowed ourselves to be attuned to God and the light that is present in God, we are now focusing that light within us. And focus is such a key word, right? Focus on any prayer. Focus in any meditation is what actually brings you to the point you wish to be at. So when we focus our light, we are actually attuning to that shimmering light of all. And we're asking for God to focus that light that is the presence of God right here within us. What a powerful 3 lines just that is. We could meditate on that and totally be enlightened. I'm going to repeat those 3 lines. Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all. Focus your light within us. The next line is, as we breathe your holy breath. Now we all know how important breath is. Breath is life. Breath is our mind. Breath is our consciousness. Breath is what God gave us in spirit, right? The spirit of breath is our life. So as we breathe your holy breath, we are breathing in the Holy Spirit, the holy energy of all life. So now we have 4 lines. Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all. Focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. The next line is, enter the sanctuary of our hearts. Now we know within our heart we can go inside to that source of all love, that inner sanctuary, that inner temple of love right there in our heart of hearts. That presence that is the greatest gift of God is that love. So as we're breathing in this breath of God, this energy of light, we're bringing it into our heart, into the source of all love, the place where we have our heart beat, and we are aligning our heartbeat with God's heartbeat. And the next line is, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. So now we have the frequency and the energy of the rays, and there are so many sacred rays, right? There are the 7 sacred rays. There's the sacred rays of the color that we see in a rainbow. And that sanctuary in our hearts, when we unite it within us, with the sacred rays, the highest rays of energy, of God's power and beauty, we're bringing within our heart that light, that breath, that love, and uniting it with that beauty, that energy field of the highest of creation. So now we have Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all. Focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. Enter the sanctuary of our hearts, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. Now, what we've achieved here is a chance to unite with God, to have that total cosmic consciousness and that union. The next line is, let your heart's desire unite heaven and earth through our sacred union. And again, here is that beautiful combination of bringing heaven and God right here in our hearts to earth, in that beautiful sacred union. What a wonderful power to be able to bring heaven to earth as Jesus Christ did. And as he did, he opened up the door and the pathway for us to be able to have that sacred union with God. The next line is, help us fulfill what lies within the circle of our lives today. Give us our daily bread as we give the daily bread. Give us today our daily bread. And so the daily bread is the manna, right? The daily bread is our energy that we need. It's the power that we need to get out in the world, to fulfill our purpose. And we're asking God to be there with us to fulfill our purpose in life. Within the circle of our energy field, the circle of our lives. So we're turning to God for help to have the energy we need and give us that energy that is the purest energy within the circle of what we're doing in our lives today. And the next line is, forgive our secret fears as we freely choose to forgive the secret fears of others. What a beautiful phrase. Forgive our secret fears. Now, we all have fear. We all have hidden secret fears. And some of our most protective and defensive parts of ourselves is when our secret fears are exposed. And often we project our secret fears upon others and get very, very defensive if that button of our secret fears is pushed, right? So we're asking God to forgive us what we have buried there within us, to forgive us that hidden part, that shadow nature, that part that's the darkness within us. But we are asking it with the deal we're making to forgive also the fear that is in all people. Everyone has hidden fears. Everyone has shadow parts. Everyone has that secret fear that oftentimes is covered up so we do not see it. So we're asking God to forgive us as we forgive others. And we're going deep. It's not just to forgive us for the little things. It's forgiving the deepest, most hidden part, that part that we are now allowing, with God's help, to come out, to be addressed. And this is a time in life where all of our secret fears are coming out. And we have to be able to forgive ourselves and ask God to forgive ourselves, these secret fears, and in turn realize that we must forgive also the secret fears of others. Let us not enter into forgetfulness, tempted by false appearances. How deep is this? This is the sin, right? This is the part which has been translated many, many ways. But here in the Aramaic version, in this particular Aramaic version, there's many Aramaic versions even, but we're asking God to let us not enter into forgetfulness, to let us not enter into Maya, into illusion, into losing track or making a mistake or missing the mark, as some people translate sin as. Let us not enter into that place off center where we forget who we are, where we slip into illusion, when we slip into darkness and don't see the light. We're asking God to let us not enter into that space of forgetfulness and get tempted by false appearances. That Maya is so thick and so deep that we can easily get lost in that illusion. There are layers and layers and layers of dreams and dramas and thought forms that it's very easy to get lost in the false appearances. And it takes that light, the shimmering light of God. It takes the power of the holy breath. It takes uniting with the love in our heart. And it takes being able to forgive ourselves to actually get to the point where we can ask not to enter into that space of forgetfulness, to not fall into believing the false part of ourselves, the Maya, the hungry ghost, the ego, right? That's what false appearances are. The next line says, "For from your astonishing fire comes the eternal song." Now we know we've talked about light and the power of light, but in creation, even when we go into the scientific realms of trying to understand the creation and the first Big Bang theory, there's always this energy, this spark, this light, this fire that actually was there at the beginning of all creation. And it's not just a fire here we're talking about an astonishing fire. What would an astonishing fire be? What would be that torch, that spark, that light, that astonishing fire? That enlightenment beyond enlightenment, that light beyond the light that is the astonishing fire. And from that astonishing fire comes the eternal song. And this might be my favorite part because I love music and I love sound. We know that vibrations and tones are there within the color, are there within the whole frequency of light, and that there is the music of the spheres, and that music of the spheres contains the sound, the Om beyond the Om, the energy field that is the nameless sound of God, an eternal song that we are actually all a part of. And then it goes to the line, which sanctifies all, renewed eternally in our lives and throughout creation. So we're saying that sound, that sacred sound, that song of life that comes from the first energy field that created the astonishing fire, it sanctifies all. We are then being absolutely transformed by this song. Can you imagine being transformed by the eternal song? Sanctified and renewed, not just this moment, renewed eternally. That means this amazing, astonishing fire that holds this original sound, which is the song of the universe, the music of the spheres, is being in us sanctified, in us renewed eternally into our lives, and as it is throughout all creation, which brings us back to the universal oneness of all. And the final words are, we seal these words in our hearts, committed in trust and faith. Now, what a powerful Lord's Prayer that is. What a wise and complete understanding comes from this Lord's Prayer. Let me say it one time all together here. And let's go into a state of meditation. Let's go into that inner part of ourselves as we breathe in and hold our breath and allow ourselves to absorb this energy, breathing out and opening our hearts and our minds and our souls to the true meaning. Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all, focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. Enter the sanctuary of our hearts, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. Let your heart's desire unite heaven and earth through our sacred union. Help us fulfill what lies within the circle of our lives today. Forgive our secret fears as we freely choose to forgive the secret fears of others. Let us not enter forgetfulness, tempted by false appearances. For from your astonishing fire comes the eternal song, which sanctifies all, renewed eternally in our lives and throughout creation. We seal these words in our hearts, committed in trust and faith. And now I'll read you the phonetic version, the original Aramaic version, in Aramaic. Avun de Boshmaya. Nita Kadash Shama. Te Malkuta. Nawe Savyanaka Kana. De Bashmaya O Baraha. Howlan Lakma de Sunkanin Yamana. Wash Woklan how Bain I Kanada Panyin. Shwakin El Haya Bain. Ula Talan El Nisiona. Ela Pesan Menbisha. Metal de la Ki Malkuta. U Haila. Utish Bakta. La Alan. Amin. Amen. May you learn to connect with the highest, with Father, Mother, God. May you be alive in that light of all lights. May you find that sacred union in your heart where you can bring heaven to earth. May you always be free of those hidden fears and allow others also to be free of hidden fears without judgment. May you find the energy to always be centered and not enter into forgetfulness, not be swayed by illusion and darkness. And may you always be able to be attuned to the highest, most radiant sound of all life, that eternal song, and be one with all creation. Thank you so much. I'm sending you my deepest love and appreciation. God bless you always.